In the sprawling expanse where the wild northern mountains met the murmuring shores of distant cities, a story was quietly unfolding, one woven of fate, courage, and the unlikely forging of a new fellowship. This is the tale of how five disparate souls, each carrying the weight of their own histories, converged to form an adventuring band known as the Veilwalkers, a name whispered on the winds as they crossed thresholds both physical and mystical. Frida Orkslayer first crossed paths with Morven Juvenoril in the bustling trading city of Lysoria, a place alive with intrigue and hidden knowledge. Frida, drawn from her mountain forge by cryptic whispers of her fairy lineage, sought answers in forgotten libraries and shadowed guild halls. Morven, equally driven by visions of cosmic transformation, had arrived hunting ancient scrolls that might shed light on his portent of change. Their meeting was hardly cordial at first. Both fiercely independent and accustomed to their insular worlds, they collided in the Grand Archive, their research overlapping on a dusty tome that spoke of ley lines intersecting with realms of fey magic. Fragments of revelations Frida's aunt had hinted at and Morven's celestial visions had foreshadowed. When an aggressive gang of thieves, intent on stealing a rare artifact housed in the archive, interrupted the quiet research, Frida and Morven had no choice but to combine their strengths. Frida's powerful battle-smithing and raw strength, paired with Morven's precise, explosive war magic, turned the tide, repelling the assailants. The shared victory seeded a mutual respect, and an understanding blossomed. Their quests were entwined by threads unseen. Soon thereafter, the duo encountered Bindy Emberwhisper amid the tangled alleys of Grey Harbor, a coastal city thrumming with undercurrents of trade and secrets. Bindy's emergence was almost ghost-like, a deft shadow, her soul knives glinting faintly in the moonlight, as she shadowed a corrupt merchant rumored to deal in forbidden relics tied to the fairy realms and ancient prophecies. Frida and Morven were in pursuit of leads related to these relics when one of the merchant's enforcers spotted Bindy. Bindy's deft psychic blades cut through the panic. The trio found themselves cornered in a labyrinthine warehouse. Working seamlessly, Morven's spells disrupted the ambushers' coordination. Frida's enchanted gauntlets smashed through barricades, and Bindy's agile assaults incapacitated foes with surgical precision. Their escape sealed a pact born of necessity and shared goals. The story grew fuller when Vagor Erdrock appeared, quite literally leaping into their path during their respite in a tavern, his acrobatic prowess catching the eye of wary onlookers as he withdrew from a brash bounty hunter chasing him for unpaid debts. Vagor's presence was a breath of fresh air for the vigilant trio. His blend of strength, nimbleness, and arcane trickery filled gaps in their abilities they hadn't known existed. His tale of tribal ambush and cunning survival resonated with Frida's own scars from orc raids, and his skills complemented Bindy's and Morven's precise tactics. He willingly joined, eager for purpose beyond petty street struggles, finding a reason to use his talents for justice and protection. The final thread binding the Veilwalkers came with the arrival of Talus Ironbark, the enigmatic Warforged officer. Their meeting was unexpected. Talus had been sent as a militia emissary to Grey Harbor to quell growing unrest fed by smuggling networks and rising cult activity connected to the same relics and ley lines the others pursued. Seeing the group's skill and shared dedication, Talus proposed an alliance. His disciplined strategies and steadfast resolve lent structure to the group's chaotic quests, and his friendship with a revered three-creen samurai hinted at the depth of his honor and loyalty. Together, these five individuals shared a common thread, a desire to unearth truths buried beneath the surface of the world and within themselves, to protect the delicate balance between realms, and to reconcile divisions between force and finesse, science and spirit, light and shadow. Their first true trial as the Veilwalkers came soon enough. Rumors spread of unrest in the ruins of Eldrath, a forgotten stronghold nestled in the borderlands between the Feywild and the mortal realms. An unnatural storm brewed there, howling enchantments warping the land and threatening to spill chaos into the surrounding villages. Ascending the ruined battlements, the Veilwalkers faced more than elemental rage. A band of corrupted Fey sentinels, twisted by dark magic, barred their path. Frida's magic-infused weapons clashed with the twisted nature of their foes as Morven channeled war magic to disrupt the fey enchantments binding the battlefield. Bindy's soul knives struck unseen from the shadows, while Vagor's swift movements disrupted enemy formations, and Talus's defensive prowess shielded the group from retaliatory strikes. The battle was fierce, testing their resolve and the fragile trust that had formed between them. When at last the storm quelled and the ruins fell silent, the Veilwalkers stood together, tired but undaunted, bonded not just by victory but by mutual reliance and an unspoken vow. The tales of Frida Orcslayer, Morven Uvenoral, Bindy Emberwhisper, Vagor Erdrock, and Talus Ironbark had begun as separate threads woven by fate into a larger tapestry. Bound by shared purpose and tempered in the crucible of trial, they became the Veilwalkers, guardians who tread the spaces between worlds, balancing light and shadow, steel and sorcery, past and future. When you hear the whisper of their name on the breeze, know it carries the promise of unity amidst diversity, of unraveling mysteries that bind the realms, and of a fellowship whose strength lies not only in arms or magic, but in the bond of comradeship forged on fire and shadow.